I also thank him for providing us with the first set of business for the new session. But I do have to reflect, at the beginning of the last session, the new government made a virtue of the fact that they would be putting an end to the incessant chaos of the Conservatives. But yet here we find ourselves again with a Prime Minister who appears to have lost all authority. And we all know that changing Prime Minister over and over again is deeply damaging for our economy and for our place on the world stage. And when you look at the content of the King's Speech, Mr Speaker, you see the reason why this Prime Minister has run out of road despite having such a large majority, because there's no real change offered by this government's policy agenda, just a tinkering around the edges. There's an EU reset bill that offers no reset and no attempt to boost growth by moving beyond the government's red lines. There's no measures to boost national security by introducing a programme of defence bonds, and there is nothing to fix the crisis in social care that plagues so many of our constituents. Now, will the Leader of the House schedule a debate in government time on how to stop this continued chaos of successive Conservative and Labour governments? And perhaps some of the Prime Minister's cabinet colleagues might want to come along and make some contributions. But after last week's results, Mr Speaker, one of the solutions that should be discussed in that debate is the need to move to a system of proportional representation for general elections as well as local government in England. It has never been greater. We Liberal Democrats will always support calls for making every vote count, and that's despite results in Richmond upon Thames and in some of the Scottish constituencies, including my own, I have to say. So will the Leader of the House speak to the Prime Minister and try to persuade him that if he wants to leave some form of legacy which he can be proud of, he should make time for a bill on fair votes?
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The King's Speech makes clear, and the Prime Minister has made clear, that the long-term national interest does require a closer relationship with our European allies, more so than ever at this time, because there are huge opportunities to strengthen our security and cut the cost of living. We have made progress with closer cooperation on agriculture, electricity, emissions trading and more. But I have to say that the previous government's Brexit deal did deep damage to the economy. We won't be joining the customs union or the single market. We won't be returning to freedom of movement. But there will be legislation. There will be legislation which will be coming forward to reset the relationship with Europe, because, as I say, the Prime Minister and the government have made very clear about the need for a closer partnership. In terms of proportional representation, our party's position is very clear. I note that the Liberal Democrats may have an opportunity to bring forward an amendment to the King's Speech on this, if they so wish, and I think if they do so, they'll get the answer that they won't want to hear.